get powerful AI developers, whether they're companies or governments, although it's usually companies, to devote time and attention to govern AI responsibly and then to direct it towards addressing society's greatest challenges? And the answer is the multi-stakeholder community, directing them through conversation, delicate pressure, into thinking about those problems in meaningful ways. A few weeks ago at the UN General Assembly's High Level Week, there were a series of events that brought together different parts of the multi-stakeholder community and the multilateral community and countries to talk about these issues. Secretary of State of the United States co-convened one with a whole series of diverse countries and companies, including OpenAI, and we just simply asked these companies what they were doing to address society's greatest challenges. Define however they wanted to within the context of the SDGs. And if you open up those conversations, and you have them at the UN, you have them at the General Assembly, and you have them at the IGF. If you ask questions about the impact on labor, if you ask questions about what we're doing to protect children's safety in the AI era, if we ask about inclusive access, it naturally changes the entire conversation. And so, the young gentleman who asked a question about whether or not the multi-stakeholder community can make a policy or not, and I think there was a sense of skepticism. I actually am far more optimistic. Policy is made, at least in democracies, including ours in the United States, by listening to the inputs of everyone. Our entire architecture in the United States for our AI governance framework was built on listening to the multi-stakeholder community in a domestic context. The entire architecture for thinking about the voluntary commitments, the most recent one, included extensive multi-stakeholder conversations. And these are the way in which governments in democracies actually formulate policy. No government has the hubris to believe, at least the ones that I've talked to, that they understand foundation models of generative AI. They need the technical community, the standard-setting bodies to help them. They need companies and the experts in companies to help them. They need civil society, human rights organizations to help them. And out of that input comes an output, and that output is policy. And then you need governments to actually enforce the policies. And that, I think, is actually where we probably have a bigger challenge. But if you take a step back and you say to yourself, how do we ensure accessibility? How do we ensure collaboration? We should encourage the energy in all of the forums, whether it's the UK Safety Summit, whether it's the G7 Hiroshima process, whether it's the UN's H-Lab, because we are at the early stages of the next era of AI, and we need all of those conversations at this point in time.
Thank you very much. And I